that you know, as we got more time together, our team became closer, and I just think that Benny Grew and the coaching staff did a marvelous job of getting these guys prepared to do what they had to do, and we never lost faith. And you know, last night we had a little bit of adversity finally because we hadn't had much through the tournament, and you know, in true Canadian form, they stood their ground and got it done. So it was just a thrill and a magical moment to be there on the ice last night.
What's the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
Well, this year's team was a lot older. You know, we forget last year's team had a lot of 18-year-olds on it. A lot of those guys were there this year and as 19-year-olds. So it's a big difference. And it's a 19-year-old tournament. It's not a tournament for a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds. Just you know, the teams we played, the Russians, the Swedes, the Finns, and particularly the Americans, you know, they have mostly 19-year-olds in the team. So I think last year's experience was good for our players. Certainly was good for me. I certainly learned a lot about, you know, what the international game is, and then you know, being able to get our coaching staff put together the way we did this year, and just have a group of people that all were on the same page and working for the same goal.
Because you had a lot on your mind, obviously, not only that that happening, but also obviously a huge trade for the Kelowna Rockets.
Yeah, that's when you go to these things, you're kind of hoping you're not tied up with other things like we were here. But it's funny. It's not really funny, but when the Morrissey deal started, and that wasn't something that I had planned on, it just started to bubble and it happened. And then the opportunity to get Leon in the mix and this whole thing was a great deal for our hockey club. And you know, we gave up 5 you know, real good players overall and some draft picks to get these 3 guys, and I honestly believe they give us a real good chance to win, and you know, that's what it's all about here right now. And when you have a chance, you want to make sure you take advantage of it. And you know, Chartier and Merkley and those kids have had such a tremendous year. This will just add to what they have and make it a little better, I think.
Can you talk about Draisaitl as a player?
Just what's it?
Can you talk about Draisaitl as a player and what he brings?
Well, he's a great big centerman that's going to, you know, add some, well, just tremendous depth to our team. We have, you know, Rourke Chartier is one of the premier players in the league right now, and this guy certainly brings the same qualities he does. And he's an experienced player that, you know, he's got 30-some games of NHL experience under his belt now. So I think that he'll fit in real well. From listening to, you know, I've had to listen to Josh Morrissey for 2 weeks here telling me what to do to get him. So he fits in real well with him too. He's a real solid person, and he'll be a great player to have here, and he'll fit into our community real well.
What's ahead for you for the World Juniors?
What's ahead for me? Well, last night when we finished, Ben Grew went in the room and told them that he was done, and I did the same thing. I said, my term with Hockey Canada is up. 2 years is enough. Spent a tremendous amount of time on the road, and I think my family deserves some time back here, and so does our hockey team. But more importantly, it's, you know, 4 years ago or so when we went to Buffalo and lost, my son was on that team, and that same story keeps coming up of how they collapsed. It's terrible that the media keeps bringing that up, because it was a good team beat them, and I was sitting there last night going, oh man, I hope this doesn't happen again. But just it was a real fulfilling experience, and you know, maybe there'll be some other hills to climb sometime soon, but right now my focus is getting home and looking after our hockey club here.
Bruce, what do you say to the